suspected shooter in Friday's massacre in Virginia Beach submitted a letter of resignation from his job with the city that morning. 12 people were killed within minutes at the municipal building before police wounded and captured the shooter, who later died at the hospital. Catherine Johnson has the latest from Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach officials say Dwayne Craddock quit his engineering job with the city just hours before the massacre.
He was not terminated, and he was not in the process of being terminated.
Craddock gave 2 weeks' notice in a resignation letter he submitted Friday morning. Authorities are looking for that letter for more clues about the nation's deadliest mass shooting so far this year.
One of the pieces of the investigation will include the motive for this horrific act.
As the timeline emerges, authorities say police arrived here at the municipal building just 2 minutes after the first 911 call.
They were returning fire, and at one point, the suspect was firing through the door and through the wall at the officers. He was a distance from them. He was in another office. They realized the need to enter that office so that he would not then escape and perpetrate more violence.
Ned Carlstrom, a city worker who survived the attack, said he initially thought it was a drill.
The only reason I can think that he did not shoot me or didn't aim at me is because he and I used to walk in from the parking lot together in the morning. We would make small talk when we were coming in the morning.
Carlstrom says he locked eyes and crossed paths with the gunman a few times before he realized the tragedy when he saw officers drag away the body of a victim. Virginia Beach is spending Sunday honoring the 12 people killed and 4 who remain in the hospital. Most of them also worked for the city. Catherine Johnson, CBS News, Virginia Beach, Virginia.
City Manager Dave Hansen says the assailant was an employee in good standing in his department. Hansen described his performance as satisfactory. And to honor the victims of Friday's shooting, both American and state flags will be lowered to half-staff. Governor Bevin is ordering flags be lowered at public offices and is asking businesses and individuals to join in lowering their flags. The flags will stay at half-staff until sunset on June the 4th. A former Kentucky psychiatric hospital chief claims in a lawsuit she was fired without cause in March. Among the defendants in the whistleblower lawsuit filed Friday by ex-Central State Hospital Director Josie Goodman are Governor Matt Bevin and Cabinet for Health and Family Services Secretary Adam Meyer. The lawsuit says Goodman had been trying to address staffing concerns and was fired in retaliation for the Louisville Hospital's use of a 2017 law to assist patients. And over in West Virginia, the Wayne County Sheriff's Office is looking for this man. Deputies say Ancy Markham is wanted for leaving the scene of a deadly crash on May 26th. Jesse Dingus, 63, from Genio, was killed in that crash. Markham faces charges for involuntary manslaughter, negligent homicide, and leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death. A storm tore through downtown Prestonsburg last week, killing one man. And today, family and friends said their final goodbyes to Michael Coleman. Loved ones choked back tears at his funeral, saying he was the most giving person they knew, and for that reason, a group of them wanted to do one last thing for him by digging their friend's grave.
I drive by his place every day. It's just not going to be the same without him sitting on a tailgate in his garden.
Visitation and funeral services were held at Thacker Memorial Funeral Home. Coleman was buried at the James Family Cemetery. It's now up to the University of Kentucky on whether or not alcohol will be served at sporting events. Earlier this week, the Southeastern Conference announced it would let the universities decide instead of a standing policy banning alcohol sales throughout the SEC. According to Inside Higher Ed, Ohio State and West Virginia reportedly saw a decline in ejections and security problems after allowing alcohol sales. But a study from the University of Colorado at Boulder shows incidents dropped after banning alcohol. The president of Lexington Legends says it's all about training staff.
The more that we can train them, familiarize them, make sure that they're vigilant and responsible, the better for everyone.
UK has not yet decided if they will allow alcohol sales, and the president of the university said Friday they would take a few months to come to a decision. If Kentucky goes forward with alcohol sales, there will be some restrictions.
Not a bad day across the mountains for the second day of June. Some showers and thunderstorms popped up, but overall, most of us did stay dry. Let's go ahead and take you to this beautiful sunset picture taken by WYMT weather spotter Alan Bowling over Paintsville Lake. Just some beautiful colors over on the lake and that sun shining bright right before it sets below the mountains. Just a beautiful sight. Pinpoint Doppler showing a few showers still lingering around, but overall, once those get out of here, we will be drying out and cooling off very dramatically. Let's check out those temperatures right now. Anywhere from the upper 60s to low 70s in the Cumberland Valley region, but check out the Big Sandy region already into those lower 60s up into Ashland, Prestonsburg, and Logan, West Virginia. So we're going to be cooling off, seeing those cooler temperatures in the next few hours. So your forecast for tonight, temperatures getting down into the low 50s. We're going to see calm winds out of the northwest. That's going to bring in those colder temperatures, and we will be clearing. And how cool are we going to be tomorrow? More details on those temperature trends in just a little bit, Macy.
All right, thank you, Kelly. First Assembly of God in Martin dedicated its morning service to the opening of a new youth center. The church held a chain-breaking ceremony today in place of the usual ribbon cutting. Members of the youth group wrote down some of the things they feel could be a burden on their peers. Then they used those things to create a paper chain. They broke through the chain as a way to symbolize the hopes they have for the future of the new youth center.
They were super excited about it. They can't wait to get to hang out with everybody, learn about Jesus, but also get to have fellowship and hopefully, and prayerfully bring in people from this community.
Pastor Ray Davis says he wants the center to be used by all the youth in the area, not just current members of the youth group. Classic car shows always seem to draw a crowd, and today one show is helping raise money for the Camp Nelson Honor Guard. Chelsea Jones shows us how some of the cars are on display.
Here in the Eastland Shopping Center, the parking lot was full of loud motors, revving engines, and shiny paint jobs.
We got Mustangs, we got Corvettes, we got Chevy trucks, you name it.
More than 100 people entered the car show fundraiser.
It's a V8, it's a convertible.
People may be here to show off their fancy cars, but they're also supporting the Camp Nelson Honor Guard, a group that relies entirely on donations.
Once you see someone carried off the hill on the back of the caisson, there are no words to describe that.
The group's mission is to bring honor and dignity to each veteran laid to rest.
Honor Guard, up, tinge, hoop, right, face.
Tracy Lucas is one of 47 volunteers who performed the ceremony.
To bring them here, we put them on foot first. Our soldier always travels foot first.
A veteran himself, it's something he's passionate about.
I owe my brothers and sisters everything. Some of them didn't come back.
Korean War vet Tom Walters agrees, saying the Honor Guard ceremony is truly something special.
If you haven't been there, you need to go there when they're having this program. You'll just be amazed at all the things that they do for the veterans.
In Lexington, Chelsea Jones, WKYT.
Local stores donated prizes to winners of that car show. And over in Pikeville, kids in the area were invited to the Pikeville Pond today to take part in the 5th annual Fishing with Kids event. The event is organized by local tattoo artist Chad Webb, who says he uses it as a way to give back to the community. Nearly 800 kids were gifted with fishing poles and accessories this year, which they used to enjoy the day out at the pond. Webb says the event is definitely a group effort.
The city of Pikeville, Department of Fish and Wildlife, so many churches, so many businesses, so many people who live paycheck to paycheck dip into their pockets to give to this event, and it really means something to me, and it just shows what kind of community we have.
Webb says the event has been used to memorialize different people each year, but will now be dedicated forever to Keegan Ryan Music. Keegan was a local boy who died as a result of an ATV accident back in April. And another fishing event going on today. It was the second day of the 5th annual Casting for Kids fishing tournament wrapping up this afternoon. Each year, hundreds of fishermen from across Kentucky and surrounding states come out to fish the tournament hosted by the Big Sandy Shrine Club. As the adults are out on the lake, the children get to have a little tournament of their own.
I mean, the adult weigh-in is, it's the big deal, but just like to see those little kids come across the stage with those little fish and interview them and see their reactions. That to me is the highlight of the tournament.
The money raised will go toward transporting children in the Big Sandy area back and forth to the Children's Hospital. There are 2 arrests tonight in the case of a missing mother of 5 from Connecticut. Her estranged husband and his girlfriend charged with tampering with evidence and hindering the prosecution. This as the search for her intensifies. Molingi is in Connecticut with the latest.
As the desperate search for Jennifer Dulos entered its 9th day, police charged her estranged husband and his girlfriend in connection with the investigation into the missing Connecticut mother of 5. 51-year-old Fotis Dulos and 44-year-old Michelle Triconis are charged with tampering with or fabricating physical evidence. 50-year-old Jennifer Dulos was last seen the morning of Friday, May 24th in New Canaan, Connecticut, after dropping her children off at school. Later that night, her empty SUV was found near a park. Detectives are treating this case as a homicide. Sources close to the investigation tell CBS Hartford affiliate WFSB.
Late last week, state police officers with canines were knocking on doors and looking through dumpsters and trash cans.
Police have gradually expanded their search to several towns, from New Canaan to Hartford, Connecticut, 70 miles north, then across the state line to New York. The estranged couple has 5 children together, all under the age of 13. Loved ones describe Jennifer as a beloved and devoted daughter, mother, sister, and friend, kind and reliable, who would never willingly disappear.
All I want to say is, Jennifer, we love you, and we are doing everything we can to bring you home. Your kids miss you. We all miss you. And again, out to the public, whatever, if you know anything, please contact the police and help us find her.
Jennifer Dulos' estranged husband and his girlfriend were both taken into custody last night and are being held on $500,000 bond. They're scheduled to have their initial court appearance right here at the Norwalk Superior Courthouse tomorrow morning. Mola Lengi, CBS News, Norwalk, Connecticut.
Still to come at 11, it was quite the sight in Florida when a coyote went running through a neighborhood this weekend. That video is next.
Showers and storms move through, all thanks to a cold front. What else is that front bringing? Those details in my forecast coming up.